Hi, third grade. Let's get started on math. We are on lesson 2.7, and that is on page 125. The title of our lesson is Use and Make Line Plots. Okay, a line plot uses marks to record each piece of data above a number line. It helps you to see groups in the data. So this is a line plot right here. Here we have the number line, and then above are marks. Some students took a survey of the number of letters in their first names. Then they recorded the data in a line plot. How many students have 6 letters in their first name? So here is the number of students, or I'm sorry, each X stands for 1 student. And then these numbers down here show the number of letters in a name. So if we go to each one, there are 2 students that have 3 letters in their name. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 students that have 4 letters in their name. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 students that have 5 letters in their name. And 4 students that have 6 letters in their name. 1 student with 7 letters and 2 students with 8 letters. Find 6 on the number line, because we want to know how many have 6 letters in their name, in their first name. So we go and find 6 letters, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 X's above the 6. So 4 students have 6 letters in their first name. Which number of letters was found most often? So we're looking here, who has the most X's? 5 does. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So most of the students have 5 letters in their first name. Write a sentence to describe the data. So we could come up with any sentence to talk about this data. Let's just count how many people took this survey. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we could say something like 20 students took the survey. There's lots of different kinds of questions you could ask about this data. Okay, now here's a question only you can answer. How many letters are in your first name? If I were to do mine, I would have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But you write down however many you have. Then put an X above the number of letters in your first name. And then I'd go back up here. I have 6 letters, so I would put an X right there. Okay. Okay, we're going to skip this next part because it's about heights of different people. And we're going to go on to the next page where we're going to use a tally table over here and then transfer the data to a line plot. So measure the length of 3 drawing tools from your desk to the nearest inch. Combine your data with several other classmates. Record the lengths in the table. So we did this earlier as a class of the kiddos who are doing in person. And we said we measured things that were 3 inches. So over here we have number of inches. So 3, 4, 5 inches, 6 inches, and 7. And then over here is where we counted. How many things did we measure were 3 inches long? We had 2. We had 0 for 4. For 5, we had 6. For 6, we had 4 things. And for 7 inches long, we had 3 things that were 7 inches long. So we're going to take this data and put it in a line plot. Okay, so we're going to list the inches down here. So 3 inches long, 4 inches long, 5 inches long, 6 inches long, and 7. So this part of the line plot would be length in inches. Okay, so going to how many tallies? We have 2 tallies here. So that's 2 over here. We didn't have anything in our desk that measured 4 inches, so it stays blank. We had 6 things that measured 5 inches long. Okay, and a tip I have for you is when you're making these line plots, try and keep your X's all the same size and try and keep them all like in a row. So all your 1s will line up, all your 2s will line up, and then so on. Okay, for 6 inches, how many things were 6 inches? We had 4. So I'm trying to make them line up right with the others. So here's the 3rd, then here's the 4th. Okay, then last one, 7 inches. We had 3 items in our desk that were 7 inches long. Okay, which length appears most often? So they're asking which one of these had the most that were like the inches long, and so we have here at 5. So which length appears most often is 5 inches. Okay, let's answer some questions about line plots now. Okay, use the line plot at the right for 4 through 6. So let's just look at this line plot. It's called height of avocado plants in inches. So somebody measured a bunch of different avocado plants, and then they measured how many were these inches tall. So we have 6 inches, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 inches. So we can see there were 3 plants that were 6 inches tall, 3 plants that were 7 inches tall, all the way up to 12. Okay. Garden Club members recorded the height of their avocado plants to the nearest inch in a line plot. Write a sentence to describe what the line plot shows. So what is this line plot showing? So it's showing, so the line plot, there are lots of different things we could say here. We can go something like the line plot shows I'm going to mention the different heights. The line plot shows that plants were 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, and 12 inches long. Okay, let's answer number 5. How many more plants are 8 or 9 inches tall than are 6 and 7 inches tall? So, okay, so how many more plants are 8 or 9 inches than are 6 and 7 inches? So we need to combine 8 and 9 and then 6 and 7 and compare them. So 8 and 9 inches. So we're going to get a total for both of these. So we're going to count all 8 and 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm going to write it down. And then let's do 6 and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it says how many more plants were 8 and 9 inches tall, and how many more means we have to subtract. So 8 minus 6 equals 2. So we know that there were 2 more plants that were 8 and 9 inches tall. Okay. Okay, let's do this last one, number 8. I'm sorry, number 6. How many plants are taller than 8 inches? So we want to look at how many plants are taller than 8 inches. So taller than 8 inches, that would cut the line plot here because 9 is taller than 8. 9, 10, 11, 12 inches are all taller than 8. So how many plants were taller than 9, or I'm sorry, taller than 8? We can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 plants are taller than 8 inches. Okay, let's go on to this next page. Okay, what we're going to do here is make an inference. And an inference is kind of like an educated guess. An inference is when you take what you already know and then more information and then make an educated guess. So that's what we're going to do with this math. That's why it says connect to reading, because we make inferences all the time. So let's start. Addison made the line plot below to show the high temperature every day for 1 month. What inference can you make about what season this is? So Addison is tracking the temperature every day for a month. We want to know, let's make an inference about what season this is. So let's look at her temperatures here. The daily high temperatures in degrees, and then it says F, that's for Fahrenheit. That's how we measure how hot something is. There's another way to do it called in Celsius, but here in the United States, we use Fahrenheit. So, looking at her line plot, it starts at 101 degrees and goes all the way up to 115 degrees. So just for reference, today was about 80 degrees. And if you went outside today, it was pretty nice out. It was warm, it wasn't too hot, it wasn't cold. So today was 80 degrees. Now, she's tracking temperatures that's 101, 102, 103, all the way to 115. That's a lot higher than 80. So this is telling us that the temperature is really, really hot, and it's hot for the entire month. It's not just hot for one day, it's hot the whole month. So going back to an inference, when you combine what you see with what you already know to come up with an idea, you are making an inference. You can use what you know about weather and data in the line plot to make an inference about the season. Okay, so if you are knowing that these temperatures are super high, what does that tell you about what season it is? Is it spring, summer, fall, or winter? If you're saying summer, you're correct. You know that the numbers in the line plot are the high temperatures recorded during the month. What's the highest temperature recorded? The highest temperature recorded was 115 degrees. That is really, really hot. And the lowest temperature recorded, let's go back. was 101 degrees. You know, 101 degrees is also really hot. There were a few days this summer where we had like 6 days in a row of 100-degree weather, and it was super, super hot. So 101 and then 115. Whew. This must be in like Arizona or something. Okay, what's the next question? The temperature recorded most often. So looking at our line plot, so all of these X's are the number of days. Which one has the most? It's right here at 107. 107 had the most days with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 114 was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 114 was a close second, but 107 was recorded the most days. Since all the high temperatures are greater than 100, you know the days were hot. This will help you make an inference about the season. So you can infer that the season is summer. Okay, thank you, third grade.